So first thing, what I want you to do is get your stock, your chicken stock, or whatever stock you're using on, bring it up to kind of a boil and then turn it down to a simmer.
Okay.
Once it comes up to a boil. So get that going.
Okay, so we need let's see, what do we need? 5 cups of the chicken stock?
I always do more because often you need more.
6 cups?
Yeah, for sure.
All right. So that's here's and here we go. These are 4 cups. Okay, so let's pour 1 in and then I'll measure up 2 cups. Okay.
I'm going to switch my camera here to the.
Yes, Bill. I know, right? Isn't it awesome? Okay, can you dump that in while I wipe up what I know?
Messy day.
I know. Oh my gosh, Sheila, I had the same kid puke in the car twice.
Oh no! Oh no!
He got like car sick.
Oh, I hope. Are you sure it was car sick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh.
Because then he came and ate lunch and was dying.
Okay,
wait, we gotta turn it on to like medium, right? Or should we do high?
Well, we're gonna, medium high, because we're gonna start, we're gonna be using it fairly soon. So we have time. Okay. So now, so I showed you how I store my asparagus. Just
wait, what, do you just store it in water and then do you keep it in the refrigerator like that?
So I bring it home and at this time of year, I leave it out on the counter. I bring it home and I chop off the end and then the ends, and then I just put it in some fresh water.
Okay.
It's the best trick because it really lasts.
Yeah.
When you get it home, sometimes it's really just dried out,
Yeah.
So oftentimes what people do, so this is pretty thick asparagus, but what you can do is you just snap it and it snaps where the tough part is. So you can do it that way and go through each one, or you can just cut off, it seems to be like an inch. So I'm just going to cut off about an inch from the end and just get that kind of trimmed up.
Okay, so should we break it or snap, or should we?
Whichever one you want to do. Either way, it's kind of wasteful, so I sometimes just will cut it and cut like a inch off or so of the ends.
Are we keeping the ends or what do we do?
Yeah, so then also what I do is then I just cut off the top and I do that. I put those in a little bit later because they're a little bit more tender. So we'll saute the stalky parts first, and then we'll add in the tops, the leafy tops.
And how much are you cutting off of the top? The whole leafy
part? I'm just kind of going down to where the kind of that pretty part starts.
Yeah, okay.
Cut off any weird little, and it's not a big deal, and then these pieces will cut into about 1.5 inches or so.
Okay.
And then we're going to saute them separately. And then, but we'll get everything prepped too before we really start sauteing. And so remember how we hold our knife, we pinch the blade like this, wrap your hand around and just keep your other hand horizontal. And you can do this like at a sharp angle too, because it looks kind of cool if you do that.
Okay.
So I'm just doing pieces,
We're gonna cook these.
Yep. Okay, so this is what she was saying, Annie. So you take your 3 fingers like this and you put this in there like that. And then here, I'll cut half of these and then you can cut half. Okay, and we're doing like 1 inch sections.
Yeah, just a little, like 2 knuckles. How's that?
Okay, yep, 2 knuckles. Okay, and so see how you like go up and
Knives
down.
are scary.
I know.
A good sharp knife is a safe knife, Annie. So remember that. Get yourself, you just need pretty much 1 knife, but 3, you could use a paring knife, a chef's knife, and a bread knife are really the only knives you need.
What's your favorite knife when you're cutting?
This one, it's called a santoku. So it's a little flatter, it's not so round. And it's a Henk, Wusthof is the brand. So it's expensive. They're expensive, but they last forever. So I've had this for ages. The one before this, you know, I had for a long time, and then I discovered this one and I really love this one. So we've got our asparagus prepped here.
Okay, Annie, I want you to cut some.
Okay.
Okay.
And just pop it in a little bowl.
Okay, so
Okay, so.
yep, like that. Yep, and then you're gonna go from like that. Yeah, but no, you want to go from right, Sheila. You go from the front to the back.
Yeah,
With the
you can keep the tip of your knife on the board
Yep.
and just go down and forward, down and forward. Just go real slow, just down and forward.
Down and forward. See
I'll
that?
try and do it at an angle, down and forward, so you can see down and forward.
Okay, there you go.
And then put the little tops into another dish. So that's done. When you're done.
Okay, the tops we're putting into a dish, and then the bottom parts, what are we doing? Throwing the bottom parts away?
No. We just have two separate, because we're gonna cook this first, and then we're gonna put this in a little later. The tops we're gonna put in a little bit later. Can you see okay? I'm gonna focus.
Yeah, but like, what about so like at the very beginning, we like broke off a little bit from the bottom.
Yeah, just toss those.
Toss that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We get a bowl, Mom.
Yep.
A couple small bowls, and then we're gonna get our shallots and garlic ready to go, and then we can.
I already cut that all up.
Oh, you did? Okay.
Yep.
All right.
I
Well,
looked up a YouTube video on how to cut garlic and.
Yep.
didn't I show you last time?
Yeah. Yep. You showed me. Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna, I have to get mine done now, so now you guys get to hang
Annie,
out and wait.
watch.
Okay. This has a lot of paper on it.
Cutting it.
So did we use shallots last time?
I don't think we
Carol?
did. I don't think we did.
Okay, so shallots are sometimes have like two bulbs. They're almost like giant garlic. So it comes and you get two bulbs often. Sometimes it's just one, you know, it's already been separated, but they grow in pairs like this.
Okay.
So you
Is
just
it like
kind of
an
got
onion? Is it an onion, a shallot?
It's in the allium family, yeah. You know, it's just a little milder. It's just got a little different flavor than onions. They're really nice. They're great for salad dressings because they're not quite so strong.
Yeah.
But whatever you have to do to kind of get it cleaned off, I usually just.
Is that how you cut it? When you did it, Mom?
Yeah. Let me pull it out here.
Here, I'll show you. I'll be basically doing this, showing the technique. So even though this is the nice thing about a shallot is it's automatically a flat. But we talked about this last time that flat surfaces are the safest. So I'm going to cut that again. And then you take your knife, keeping your other hand tucked under. And then you just make little scores. So this is the root end, and we're not cutting through the root end because we want it to stay together because we're doing a little mince here. And then you can just cut down like this. I'm going down and forward. I'm keeping the tip of my knife on the board because this is a small piece of onion. You know, if it was large, I wouldn't be able to keep the tip on because then your hand's up too high and that's dangerous. So you do what's comfortable. So keeping the root end on because that'll keep it all together until it's all sliced up. And so like if it were a big onion, I would just kind of go like this and I keep the blade against my tucked under knuckles.
Okay.
So I'll do another one here. Just want tiny little pieces, and this is probably more than I need, but I like shallots and onions, so I'm just gonna keep it. Use all of it. And that's, you know, the great thing about this spring risotto is that you can really change up the veg. However, you know, if you have green beans instead of asparagus, great, use it, you know. In fact, I thought I had peas in the freezer and I don't, so I'm just gonna have to skip the peas because I didn't want to go back to the store. So there's our shallot all ready to go. And
Okay.
then we'll slice up a few cloves of garlic. So we're not gonna mince the garlic, we're gonna slice it because it's gonna be cooking for a while, so it'll get nice and sweet, but we just don't want to burn it. So I'm gonna slice it into a little bit larger pieces. So to get the skin off.
Our chicken
Sorry?
stock is boiling. Should we turn it down or?
Yeah,
what do we
just
do?
to a low simmer, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So the chicken stock really helps to kind of absorb into the rice a little bit quicker when it's warmed up. So that's why we heat it up.
Okay.
So then to get the skin off of a piece of garlic, I'll take that root end off because we don't need that. And then just give a little whack with your knife. And then the garlic skin comes right off. Doesn't work so well with shallots and onions. Yeah. That you kind of have to sit and peel. And the skin just comes right off. Sometimes you squish it a little bit, but that's okay. And you can toss that. And this we're going to slice because we want to keep it in larger pieces. So I'm just going to go with my knife and my tucked under fingers. And then when it gets kind of close to your finger, turn it on the flat side again and just go down like that. Just go slow, take your time, practice, makes perfect. And really, you don't have to be perfect. So get that out of your head. Okay, so that's ready to go. Okay, cool. So we've got garlic, shallots, and then you found your arborio rice, the risotto rice. Okay, cool. Yep. And a little bit of white wine. If you don't have that, that's okay. Yep. You can use chicken stock instead.
We have white wine.
And
the cooking white wine, is the cooking white wine okay?
No. Oftentimes there's a lot. No, you really just want to use wine. It doesn't have to be expensive. We need about a half a cup or so.
Okay. All right.
But I always discourage I discourage cooking wine because it's not really wine. It's more like vinegar, and sometimes it's got salt in it. So that messes things up.
Good to know. Okay. I have half a cup of white wine.
Okay, beautiful. Okay, cool.
Colleen Kramer came over yesterday and drank the rest of it.
Give her the cooking wine next time.
Yeah, right here you go.
See what she says. Put an ice cube in it. Although she's so particular about her wine, it's got to have one ice cube because her teeth are sensitive. And my mom more than one, and she freaks out. Like,
okay, now I'm gonna turn. So I've got a heavy pan on. We're gonna start to saute the asparagus, and then we're gonna take it out of the pan, put it back in its bowl. And just because I like to saute it because it gives it a little bit of extra flavor instead of just you could add it in right away and it would just kind of be more like steamed and boiled, and it just doesn't taste as nice.
So
I don't think.
Put it in? So should I put the asparagus in
We're going to use the same pan that we're going to use for the risotto. So whatever pan, you have a nice heavy pan. We're going to use the same pan. Just one pan.
Okay, so I have like a Dutch oven type thing. Should I use this?
Yep. Let me see. I can't see. Yes, perfect. Yep.
That work out okay?
Yep. Okay. That's the best tool for this, for sure.
All right. So
put it on medium high heat. And put in a couple tablespoons of olive oil. Well, really just 1 tablespoon of olive oil.
1 tablespoon of olive oil into this pan here?
Yeah, more than enough. Yeah.
All right. Yeah. Okay, here we go.
If you have a flat-edged wooden spoon like this.
Flat-edged wooden spoon.
What does it look like?
Kind of like this. Or even
we've got like a wooden spoon like this.
Okay, just use that.
We need to up our cooking repertoire.
Okay, wait, so I gotta put a tablespoon of olive oil in here?
Yep, over medium heat, and then add in your asparagus.
Okay.
Both the stalks.
No, just the stalks, not the tops, just the stalks. And then you're gonna want to give it a good pinch of salt. Remember, we season as we cook, we season as we cook.
You do the pinch of salt, it's right there.
Well, what's a pinch?
A pinch is,
Give yourself
Finger,
2
right?
fingers. Are
3
you
fingers?
are you using table salt?
no, we're using kosher salt.
Okay, just a good 2-finger pinch, 2-finger pinch.
2 fingers. There you go. That. Okay.
And you get your hand, you can really work on asparagus in it.
Okay, so that's on medium heat, and should we like move it around?
Yep, you can stir it around a little bit.
Okay.
We need to get one of those
It really doesn't take long, asparagus, you know, but mine's really kind of fat, so I don't know if yours is more like a pencil skinny, then you can probably go a little quicker, but I'm just gonna let this go for a little bit. It just kind of helps to flavor it. You can add some pepper in too, like a couple of shrinks of black pepper. Makes everything better.
Hit that.
So that's going. And when it's almost done, we'll put in the tops.
Okay.
We'll let it go for a couple minutes, and then we'll take it out of the pan and just set it aside for a little bit once it's all done. And then we'll start in on our shallots and garlic.
Okay, so we're
But
gonna take it out of the pan, and then should I just put it like on a plate or something?
Yeah, not quite yet though, unless you.
No,
think
but like,
it's done.
I just want to get the plate ready.
Yeah, it's a plate or the same bowl that you use when you cut it up, it's fine. to
Oh,
put
yeah,
it back
okay, we
in
can
the
do
pan.
that. Okay, great. Okay.
Trying to save, you know,
Yeah, same
Same
dishes.
dishes.
I like that, Sheila.
oh yeah, for sure, for sure.
Since you've got daycare dishes to do every day too.
Yeah,
Do you have any kids left at home?
no, no, my Kate is a senior at the U, and so she's graduating. I don't think she'll be moving back home, but
Should my chicken stock be boiling or just simmering?
just a low simmer is all we
Okay,
need.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So just not low.
Yeah. So, and so with risotto, so let's talk about the rice. This arboreal rice is like a short grain rice, medium grain rice, I guess. And there's lots of starch on it. So like oftentimes when you're making like white rice or brown rice, you rinse it really well to get the starches off so it's not sticky. We don't do that with this rice. We put it in dry. So you never wash it. And then, so we're going to saute it, and before we put any liquid in, we're going to saute it in a little bit of butter and the shallots and the garlic. We're going to cook those first, but and keep those in the pan. Then we're going to add the rice, and for like a minute or two, we're going to saute this until it gets really translucent. And that will also help to kind of separate the kernels as it cooks. And then we'll put in the wine. And we're gonna stir. So if you've ever made risotto before, it's a lot of stirring. And but it's not as much as people think. I mean, you don't have to sit there for 45 minutes and stir, but you do have to get it stirred. So then we put in the wine, and we'll stir that around. And when that kind of evaporates, then we'll add in our first ladle. So if you have a ladle, you're gonna wanna get a good ladle like this.
Yeah, we do have a ladle.
Ready to go.
That's one thing we do have.
Okay, so my asparagus is ready. So I'm gonna put in the little end parts now.
She's putting
Those
Okay,
are
so
going
how
in.
do you know that your asparagus is ready?
I'm just, it's just kind of browned on the sides a little bit. I just like to
Okay.
get a little color on there just for flavor.
Okay. All right, so I'm gonna put the ends, the tops of it in there right now.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Just give that a little stir. Just for a minute or two, they'll cook really quick, and they'll keep on cooking, you know, as once, we'll put it back in towards the end so that it can kind of finish cooking on the inside.
You know what, Sheila, whenever I do asparagus, I always screw it up.
Okay, well, then take it out, because it'll have plenty of time to cook.
When you make asparagus,
What?
I'm sorry.
I know, I just
Okay.
cook it too, I don't know, I don't know how to cook it.
You either cook it too long or not long enough.
I know.
If there is a point where it's like, oh, shoot, you know, I did it too long, you know, it doesn't like a lot of cooking, so.
Yeah.
Pop that out of your pan into back into your bowl,
Okay.
and now add some butter to the pan, and make sure it's not too hot.
Unsalted.
It doesn't matter, but I always use salted. I never buy unsalted anything. Salt is good. We like salt. That's just my personal opinion.
Do we do a tablespoon of butter?
For the butter, we're gonna use about a tablespoon, yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect. We
I'm
have
gonna,
butter left.
We've got more.
No, for salted.
There's more salted butter in there, isn't it? Wait, what is that? Is that a tablespoon?
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of butter in here, isn't there?
It's all like unsalted.
Really? No, this says salted. This says salted butter.
you know, it's okay. It doesn't really matter. It's kind of negligible for the most part. You'll be all right. So I'm gonna put my shallots in.
Okay, so we're putting the butter in and
And then add the shallots,
okay, and bring the
not the garlic yet. We're gonna save the garlic because we don't
This
want
is
that to burn.
the shallots. Remember, that's the shallots.
So just the shallot.
Oh, okay, all right. Go put that in and stir that up. With the wooden spoon, here you go.
My pan is getting a little hot, so I'm turning it down. I've got my water or my stock and a simmer. The shallots don't take very long at all to saute them either, so. So we're gonna get ready with our rice in a second here.
Okay, yeah, so I have butter and shallots in the pan, is that right?
Okay, yep, stir them around. I think your sister's here.
Is she?
Yay.
Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Hi.
Let me start my video. Sorry, I'm late, everybody.
No, you're good. You look so
Are you
pretty
good?
today.
How are you, honey?
Good.
I love that you're
Oh,
learning.
I'm good.
to cook. This is so good.
Well, I'm on spring break, so
I know, but I love, this is a great recipe.
I'm hungry.
Are you gonna make it, Julie?
I did not have a chance to get all of the ingredients. I don't,
Okay,
but I am following along. I love it.
okay, fun. I'm Sheila, by the way.
Hi, Sheila.
Hi, how are you? Thanks for coming.
Good. I'm excited to be here. I love to cook.
Oh, fun.
And
So,
I
Mary
love
Rose-
it. My friend makes risotto a lot and I've helped her with it, but I've never done it all by myself.
It's really not hard. In fact, I mean, it's really
Yeah.
not hard at all.
No,
So
but
Mary Rose, pop your garlic in now. And just give it a stir for like 30 seconds. We don't want it to burn, because if you burn your garlic, you have to throw it away.
yeah.
Throw everything out, so. And you just give it, because it's gonna have plenty of time to cook more. We're just kind of tossing this around.
So
you
what's
can
in there now?
smell
The shallots are in there and what else?
Shallots and the garlic, yeah, and we sauteed the asparagus, we cut it up into like, just about 2 knuckle,
Uh-huh.
lengths, and
Okay.
we sauteed it for a little bit, got it a little brown.
Like
and then
this
we took it
size.
out of the pan.
Okay, perfect. Yep, perfect. Do you do anything else to your asparagus? Do you like use your carrot peeler on there? Sometimes I see people trimming the ends of it.
You know, that's a good way to do it. I just chop off the ends.
Yeah, I kind of do too. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. And then add a little bit more olive oil too, about a tablespoon, Mary Rose.
A tablespoon? Okay.
Yeah. And then pop in your rice, your arboreal rice.
Okay.
And we just want to make sure there's enough fat in here to coat all those little kernels.
Okay, so I'm putting the rice in, right?
Yep.
Yep.
And just start stirring it around, and we're just kind of sauteing it because we want it to get nice and translucent before we add our wine. So I don't usually measure my wine, but I'm going to tonight. For you, I'll measure.
Are you using wine or chicken stock, Mary Rose?
I have both.
Okay. Like I wasn't gonna open a bottle of wine just to use half a cup. So that's where I use just like the chicken
That's
stock.
okay. Yeah. That works. So this takes like a minute or two you'll see that the edges get a little translucent. Everybody's covered with the oil. This is just sort of an important stage where you don't want to leave it to burn.
And do you have to rinse the rice?
No, I was just saying to those guys, this type of rice, this medium grain rice, we want all those starches on there. So we do not rinse the arboreal. So put a little, so you want to hear that sizzle. You see the sizzle? You guys see this?
Uh-huh.
You put the wine in.
Okay.
And you want it to sizzle.
Yeah, it did.
And we're gonna cook out, of course, we're not gonna cook out all the alcohol, but it's going to, evaporate. But this is where the stirring starts, so.
Okay.
Roll up your sleeves.
Yep.
But we'll be able to take a break. So we're gonna not add any stock until this is fairly evaporated.
Okay.
Keep on stirring it. And as we stir it with the stock, then all those starches are gonna thicken this up really well. And that's when it becomes creamy without even adding any cream to it, which is really fun. You can make this totally vegan if you want, but. Tiny bit, and your stock is still a simmering.
Yeah.
Stir.
When are you leaving, Sheila, for Ireland?
I leave a week from Wednesday.
Julie, she's taking a group on a cooking trip to Ireland.
Wow.
I know, so excited. So excited. It's gonna be really fun. Hey, Mary Rose, grab a few sprigs of your thyme. How many sprigs? Did you get fresh thyme?
Okay, show her what we got. It's in the refrigerator. Show her what we got.
So they didn't have the fresh stuff like with the basil and the parsley and all
That's
that.
That's fresh thyme.
It is.
Okay.
My mom and I got in a little disagreement at the grocery
Okay, so
store
what-
about if this was fresh or not.
How much should we put in?
That's fresh.
About 10 sprigs or so, and we don't have to do anything to take the leaves off, because as we're stirring and stirring and stirring, they'll eventually come off. But even if they don't, it'll be imparting its flavor. But if you
This one sprig.
Yep.
Can you put it
watch
close?
how she gets the leaves off though.
Yeah. So if you ever need to take the sprigs off, you just grab the
Here, Mom, come watch it.
stem and just strip it off with your fingers. I'm gonna go all over the place if I do that. Here, I know, I'll switch to my other camera here. Hang on a sec. Keep on stirring your I'm gonna come back and okay, now it's ready for a 1 ladle full. No, I think we'll put 2 in.
Here, she
of
said,
stock.
how many sprigs did you say of this go in the?
About 10.
Give me 10.
8 to 10.
She said 1 ladle full of chicken stock can go in.
2 ladles.
2 ladles.
And see how this is really bubbling? It's a little too high, so I'm gonna turn it down, okay? You don't want it to be a really fierce bubble. We want it to be a nice kind of slow, not low, but just a simmer. Give it a good stir, 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 and give it a good another pinch or 2 of salt too. Like I'm gonna give it a good 3-finger pinch. So we season as we go. But if you have salty stock, you know, ease up on the salt too, because that's also gonna contribute to the.
Salt in, I think, in it.
Okay, so taste your stock. I mean, take a little teaspoon and see how it tastes. If it really,
I'll bring you just a spoon.
just then add just a little bit.
Yeah, can you taste it? Doesn't taste salty.
And mine, so everybody's rice is gonna be different, but you can see mine really absorbed pretty quickly that, oops. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, can you change the camera?
So mine absorbed really quickly, so you can see like I pull and, you know, it just stays right in place, okay? So now I'm gonna put in, that means it's
Can you
absorbing
stay
pretty
in
well.
place, ma'am?
No.
Then you're not done yet.
So now I'm gonna
Is
put
that
in a
because
couple
of the
more.
type of rice that you have, Sheila?
You know, it depends on a lot of things, like the age of the rice, how long it's been on the, you know, on the cupboard at the store, how long it's been in your own cupboard. That's why, you know, there's no exact science to how much stock you need. You might need 5, you might need 6, you might need to add 7. It all depends on certain, you know, all the conditions. So now you can see, you just keep stirring, but it's not leaving much of a trail. So I know it's not ready for more stock yet. But this is where, you know, you can stir, and then we don't have to sit there and stir the whole time. So we can take a little break while that's cooking. And then I can show you and I haven't put my thyme in yet. I'm going to do that right now. You can tie this with like a little piece of twine too, so that it's easier to pluck out, but I'm just going to throw the thyme into my. And it will give all of its goodness. So if you ever need to, you have just the thyme leaves that you're gonna use, you take one of the
sprigs.
okay, sprig, and then you just, so if it's a really tender stem, it'll break, and then you can even just chop through that. But sometimes you get like a woodier stalk, like this is a little woodier down here. So you just pull it from.
You kind of strip it.
You just kind of strip it off with your fingers, yeah. Or you can go the other way, and sometimes I just use my thumb, and I'll just kind of even go the opposite way. And then if anything comes up, you just chop through it, because that's nice and tender, and it's full of flavor, so you don't have to worry about that.
So my risotto's getting kind of thick.
Okay, then add a couple more.
Some more
Yep.
stock.
Spoons of stock. Add some more
Yep.
stock.
Yeah. Put that in. Yeah, mine's going pretty quick actually, so that's kind of fun. Let's see. I'll switch back over to my. Yeah, so once you can see a trail with your spoon, you know, you pull back and you see a trail, then you can add some more.
Yeah, okay.
Kind of swelling up, absorbing, exactly what you want. Stir it around.
So is this how they do this at the Lexington, their famous risotto?
I guess so, yeah.
Oh, I didn't know they had a famous risotto.
Oh, yeah.
Our grandma used to eat it.
Really?
We used to go get it for takeout for her.
Oh, I did not know that. That must have been a while ago, huh?
Yeah.
So I started this, I know I'm gonna wanna turn this up again. My stove is just, it gets really hot, but, so this particular recipe, so John and I, my husband and I were in Ireland last year about this time. And, we went to this restaurant and it was called Cronin's Shebeen. It was in a town called Westport, and it was sort of like a gastro pub, you know, so it was a pub, but they had good food. And so I ordered their spring risotto and it came and it was so beautiful for one thing, because it was about this time, but you know, their growing season has started. And so they had pea shoots in it, and asparagus, and it was just gorgeous and it tasted so good. And I was like, well, I'm going to crack the code on this and I'm going to make it. And so I did. And now I make it a lot, you know, like with just spring vegetables, but you know, this technique with the sauteing of the onions and or shallots, garlic, and the wine and the arborio rice are all, that's the technique you can use for any risotto dish, basically. So what we're doing, and it's just whatever you add to it. Like what is so delicious is butternut squash in the fall. You peel it, roast it, throw it in the end. Oh my God. And a little blue cheese and maybe some rosemary. It's just unbelievable. So tasty. So you can do, once you get this basic risotto down, you got it. And you just keep on adding to it and changing it up and making it your own. And you know, you could add a little sauteed shrimp to it.
Yep.
Whatever works for you. But you do want to stir it pretty often. You don't want to just let it sit and absorb, because that's where, as you agitate the rice kernels, that's where the starch is coming from, which will thicken it, and that's where you get that creaminess. That's why you want to stir it a bit. And it really doesn't take all that long. It'll take forever. But so now once we get to a certain point, we don't have to worry about it burning or anything like that. We can start in on our Caesar dressing. So are you guys going to do, this is sort of a lightened up Caesar version.
Yeah, we're doing
The Caesar.
the Caesar salad lightened up. Yeah.
Okay. So you know, usually you use egg yolks and a lot of olive oil. So this is just going to use and we can keep on stirring, so we'll have to turn around and stir it every so often. But we'll get the dressing. And did you get kale, or are you going to use romaine, or what was your lettuce choice?
Romaine. I got romaine.
Okay, I'll show you. I'm going to use kale, so I'll show you my little tips and tricks for my kale. Did you make the roasted chickpeas?
I did.
I have made those before. I love roasted chickpeas.
So good.
They're great to have around.
Yeah, fun for a crouton substitution.
Yeah.
But this just comes together really easily. And one thing we want to be aware of is the garlic. Just don't want to hang on a sec here. I just want to make sure I've got everything, all my ducks in a row. So I just have my yogurt in a bowl already.
We got to get that. Annie, you want to get, okay, what kind of a bowl? Annie, get like one of those green bowls to mix this up, I think.
Yeah, just something that'll all fit in. There's not that many ingredients. I hope I'm big enough bowl.
No, it's bigger than that.
And if you don't want to use, if you don't want to use yogurt, you can use mayo, or you could use an egg yolk too. But unless you know your eggs are super duper fresh, I don't use
So you're not using any eggs in the dressing, right? Yeah.
No, not this one. And then did you get anchovy paste, or are you resisting that?
I forgot the anchovy paste, but I do have Worcestershire sauce. Can we do that?
Yep, for sure.
Salt. Sometimes if I don't have enough anchovy paste, I use anchovy paste in my green goddess dressing.
Oh,
Oh, do we
nice.
have anchovy paste here? That
You
anchovy-
might have, you know what, Mary Rose, you may have it there. It'd be
Oh, I
a
cleaned up
tube.
Oh.
It's a yellow, it's a kind of a yellow tube.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah,
cleaned up
mine's black.
like a month ago, and I
Maybe it's
threw it
black.
away because it was expired.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Oh,
But it's super salty. So
so is mine.
yeah. So
I
sometimes
just put it in.
Okay,
Yeah.
so we need how much of the Greek yogurt or
About a quarter cup or so.
You need, you're doing this right here. You need, quarter of a cup. And here's the,
Keep an eye on the risotto and give it a stir and a
I'm gonna
ladle
stir-
full.
do that. Okay.
so if it doesn't taste good, it'll be my fault.
Well, just, you got it, Annie. It's gonna be fine.
you got it.
Puka.
Who wants to watch too?
So I put a little, you don't need much, teaspoon at the most is a-okay. And
Teaspoon
then
of what?
of the anchovy paste.
Of the anchovy paste.
Yeah.
So we don't have that, so what are we using, Mom?
We're gonna use Worcestershire.
Worcestershire. So use a good teaspoon, you taste it. Salad dressing, you really have to taste and, adjust from there. Not everyone.
Okay, so she's got the Greek yogurt. Should she put the Worcestershire sauce in next, or is there?
Sure, it doesn't matter. There's no
Doesn't matter,
order
okay.
to this
What's
whatsoever.
in there?
So,
What else? Oh, that's the anchovy
So-
paste.
so you'll need olive oil, some lemon juice, Dijon mustard, anchovy paste or the Worcestershire, and some garlic that we're gonna grate. Do you have a microplane grater?
Did you do that already, or? I minced the garlic, I think.
Okay,
Oh wait, a teaspoon of
Hmm.
because you did the anchovy paste. How much anchovy paste?
about a teaspoon.
Worcestershire sauce.
About a teaspoon. Okay.
Yeah, a little less would be okay. And then about a teaspoon, same amount of the Dijon mustard.
You got it. You got it, Annie. You got it.
And just be careful with the garlic because I would add, half of it and taste
So
it.
what did I do?
Is this it?
Yeah, I
Because raw
minced-
garlic
I
is
minced
very
the
strong.
garlic. It's really, I minced it.
Okay,
That's
well,
okay.
just use a little bit. Use like a quarter teaspoon,
Okay.
taste it, and if you think you want more, add more. I'm using my little microplane grater to
I
get
know.
this really mashed. But I don't, I just sometimes get a little, it's almost like too much for me sometimes. And then the lemon juice will, and you want to for sure roll your lemons on
Did you
your
cut
cutting board to get more juice out of it. And then just cut it in half, and I like to catch the seeds in my hand. And just need about a tablespoon or so.
What are we doing next, Annie?
Okay, so wait, I'm done with the yogurt.
Look at the list and go down the list.
So you have anchovy paste, some yogurt, a little bit of garlic, Dijon mustard.
You minced it.
Did this cut? Wait. That's
She
How
said
much-
put lemon.
I know.
in.
How much lemon juice?
About a tablespoon.
Okay, that's perfect.
Like a half a lemon.
Yeah.
Roll your lemon before you, give it a good roll before
She
you cut
squeezed it
it.
before we start, like she prepped everything yesterday.
Okay. Well, that's great, good idea. Check your risotto, add some more stock if you need, give it a good stir. Stir.
This bowl is probably too big, Mom.
Okay, did you put everything in? Did you do the olive oil?
Oh no.
Here, Annie, this is the stuff that you need to put in. So look here, this right here. Okay,
I put in some garlic.
Okay.
Where's the
Olive oil right there.
how much olive oil?
Did you do the Greek yogurt, Annie?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I didn't see it. And just, so you need black pepper and some Parmesan cheese, yeah.
Black pep and some parm. And then we're gonna taste it and make sure that we love it.
Okay, so 1
Not for the salad,
tablespoon. No, I know, I grabbed it all.
Okay, all right, okay.
You go babysit risotto. And then.
We add a bunch of pepper, lots of black pepper.
What are you having for dinner tonight, Aunt Julie?
I grilled up a bunch of chicken breasts last night and I'm gonna heat one of those up. I was gonna have it with this risotto, but I think I'm gonna do this tomorrow night.
2 ounces.
Okay, so give it a good taste. Stick your finger in there. See what it needs.
Okay, just a little update. I put in all of my 6 cups of stock.
How
Chicken
is
stock.
it looking? Okay, so now what I want you to do, Mary Rose, grab a little fork and give it a taste.
Well, I just put it in. I think I gotta stir it a little bit.
Okay. But give it a taste, see if that rice is cooked, you know, you don't want it to be, it should be pretty soft.
Okay. It's kind of soupy right now.
Good. And really, like mine is cooked for the most part. It really is. And
Did you put?
you
black-
don't want it to dry out. So if you, do you have any more chicken stock?
Yeah, I do. Yep, I got.
Okay,
more.
maybe pour like another cup into the pan, just so you have it.
Okay. in case
Because
we-
when you, because once we put the Parmesan cheese, then it's gonna get really stiff. And risotto should be really flowy on the plate. You should put it in the bowl and it should sort of kind of, you know, blob out on you.
It says freshly cracked black pepper.
If you have that, otherwise just black pepper, you know, a good like half teaspoon. It should have a good pepper taste. Did you taste your dressing yet?
No, because I don't think I have everything in here yet.
Okay, okay. Okay,
Look at the list.
I'm a bad cook
Great,
under
Annie, you're doing great.
yeah, you're doing awesome. And if it's really thick, you can add, too thick, you can add a little bit more olive oil to it, if you'd like. Or more lemon juice, if you like it really nice and tangy, which I'm adding a little bit more because I want to thin it out a bit.
Mhm.
I'm gonna, and then we can add the asparagus back in. If your risotto, if your rice is tasting, you know, tender and
I gotta taste.
delish, Mary Rose, and you can add
Let me taste.
you can add in the asparagus, the cooked
I feel like I'm
asparagus.
forgetting, like, this doesn't taste right.
Well, how does it, do you need a little salt?
Was I supposed to add salt?
Well, it's Annie, you know what, Annie, it's salad dressing.
Yeah.
You know what,
It's
so,
just not what it tastes like, what normal Caesar tastes like to me.
okay,
Well, it's
Okay.
a lightened version too.
it's lightened up, but it's also, it'll taste different when you're eating it on a salad.
I'll stir this and I'll taste it.
Mine's delish. I
I
just
think it
tried
looks
mine.
good, Annie. I think it looks good.
What
Try
does it taste like though, Mary Rose?
It's like,
Like, do you want more lemon? Do you want some salt?
Do you have the Parmesan cheese in there?
yeah, it's
Okay.
it's a little thick, but not, I mean, I don't know, isn't that what it's,
You can add, like she said, you
Yeah.
could add some more olive oil or a little lemon juice if you want it to thin out.
what should we do? Lemon juice or what do you think will
Do
like?
olive oil first because the
Do like
lemon
another
will get a
half
little more
tablespoon
tangy.
of olive oil.
Yeah. Do a drop of olive oil.
Okay.
I think it's super tasty. Okay, so I'm gonna show, okay, so then, so for the most part, we are ready to go. Now, if you ever want to do this with kale, which
Yeah.
I'm doing tonight, this is called lacinato kale or dinosaur kale or Tuscan kale. It's this really dark black kale.
Yeah.
This is what I'm gonna do. If you ever use, it's really delicious kale. It's like really sweet. I don't know. Have you ever used this before, Julie?
I haven't, but I'm
Love it.
afraid. I'm kind of afraid of kale. I
Oh,
always just
don't-
like I always
yeah.
just like get the romaine instead, but I'm anxious to see what you do with it.
So, you know, these stalks are really, you don't want to
They're
eat the
bitter.
stalks.
Yeah, they're
So-
bitter. Yeah.
So I just take my finger and just kind of, I get kind of like the thyme.
Like a
you know,
thyme,
strip
yeah.
it off the stalk. It's a lot easier than the thyme though.
Yeah.
And then and I'll do this when I finish up my salad too, but and then you just kind of line it all up like a deck of cards, fold it
Mhm.
around and give it a really good, just a thin slice. So I'm going to do really thin pieces.
Yeah.
And you can eat it just like this, but it's kind of tough. And this or any kale. If you like kale and you want to start eating more of it, then how to get it tender so that you can eat it raw is you grab, put it in your bowl and add a little pinch of salt.
Should I put my asparagus back in?
Yes.
Okay.
And then give it a little pinch of salt. And then you kind of just massage it. You
Massage
just
it.
take
I've
it and
heard,
you-
yes, I've heard this. I never
you
really
pinch
understood.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, you pinch it and you just, you know, you'll have a whole bowl of this and you just pinch it.
Yep.
And it really kind of bruises it and just tenderizes it a little
Okay.
bit. It
Okay.
is, and it just makes it so tasty. I
Okay.
love this kale so much. I don't buy any other kale. I just,
What's the
love
name
it.
of that kale?
oh, there's so many names to it. Either lacinato, LACINATO, or sometimes it's called Tuscan kale. Sometimes
Okay.
it's called black kale. Sometimes it's called dinosaur kale. It's all those names, same thing. Maybe it's a different shape, you know, particular
Okay, my
variety. but-
risotto, should it be like, done?
Pretty much, yeah. Mine's done.
Yeah.
I tasted it. It tasted really good. I haven't.
Should I turn
added
the
any-
heat down on it then, or what?
Yes, yeah. Now we can turn the heat off on everything.
Okay.
So I'm gonna add a little bit more stuff. Because I haven't added any cheese yet to my risotto. Have you, Muriel?
No, I haven't done that. I'm waiting for you to tell me that.
No, I wait until it's all done and then
Okay.
I add the cheese.
Okay.
Or and if you want to add a little pat of butter, that's not gonna kill anybody.
So Sheila, what do you like? She had to add additional stock because she felt like it was a little dry. Like, do you ever not need the whole amount? Like, how do you know when the
Well,
risotto is creamy or
it'll
done
just-
enough?
It'll continue to absorb really. And so I just do it to the consistency that I want it.
Okay.
And
I
Which
actually
is-
did not add, I added six, I did the 6 cups. I did 6
Okay.
cups.
All right.
Maybe she's taking out the.
Yeah, but you kind of
I
have to
just-
taste it as you go to
Yeah,
you definitely
determine
do.
if
Wait,
it's-
are you taking the those leaves? Should I take that out?
Yes, I'm taking the sprigs
thyme.
of thyme out. So
Okay.
you sometimes gotta fish them out.
Oh, that is delish.
Yeah, it looks delicious.
Oh, man.
You could kind of add any green vegetables too, right? I mean,
Totally,
broccoli or
absolutely. I do it with broccoli a lot, squash, green beans, if you didn't have
Oh, yeah.
asparagus, you know.
yeah.
Thought I had more time in there, but somebody else minded.
Yeah.
So then I'm gonna add a little more stock. too.
How's your dog, Aunt Julie?
He's good. He's got to have surgery.
What?
He tore his ACL.
Did you know that?
Oh my God.
Weren't we just talking to someone who their dog tore their ACL?
Yeah. So he's laying low.
He's like-
Oh,
Yeah.
Didn't he hurt his foot one time, like a
A
year?
year ago, just a year ago, he had a fracture. Yeah. But this
How did
is
he tear his ACL?
just kind of pivoted. I think he slipped a little bit and pivoted, and yeah. So this will be a little bit bigger deal than the last one.
Oh my gosh.
And he'll be fine. He's gonna live a long time.
So for our salad, if we want to finish that up, because I think your risotto is pretty much done, aren't we? We have everything in there. If you want to add a little bit more butter, just to kind of give it a nice creamy, silky finish, you can. You certainly don't have to.
I don't think I put any cheese in it. Should I put the cheese in?
Yeah. You can put some cheese in. Yep. You can put the cheese in,
Parmesan.
and then you might need a little more stock too.
Okay.
And do you have a zester for your lemon? Because we're going to zest in a little lime and add some juice. And this is something you want to do at the end, because if you try and cook lemon or lemon zest or lemon juice, you'll just lose all the flavor. So you wait till the end. And I have this little microplane, or you could use the real scratchy side on a box grater if you don't have one of these, but these are the greatest things.
Yeah, you know what I have the same favorite chef.
I think you have one, Mary Rose.
So I did zest some lemon.
Okay, good. Pop it in.
Annie, you're in charge of that. I'm doing this, so.
This transforms it to even a higher level. So good.
Ooh, there's another string.
And when you're zesting, you want to be sure to only get the yellow. You don't want any white, because that's bitter. You know, think of when you're little and you suck on an orange wedge and it would get really bitter. That's the white pit, and you don't want that for sure. But this just gives it such a fresh flavor. It's so good. And you can if you don't have like a lemon reamer, if you squeeze it cut side up, the seeds will stay in the, won't go into your, whatever you're using, having it to. And you know, if you use a lot of lemon too, you can cut down on some of the salt. So that's what's happening with the dressing too. You know, it really kind of gives you that flavor so that you don't have to go and add a ton of salt, because it's adding so much flavor. And I haven't added any Parmesan to my risotto yet, but you can just do that to taste. Just doing a couple little.
So 2
scoops
ounces,
of
like
that.
a quarter of a cup Parmesan cheese.
Yeah, you know, the cheese is definitely to taste. And you know, it depends on how you grate it, how much you get per volume. That's why I put the ounces in there. So I wouldn't even go by a quarter cup or whatever, because it depends on what side of the box grater, or use a.
And it's not, Annie, do you
microplane.
notice, like, it's not shredded, it's the grated, the shredded is like the.
I bought a brick of the Parmesan cheese, and then
Okay, good.
we put it in the food processor yesterday.
Yep.
Oh,
good.
great. That's what I do
Good.
too. It's the best trick.
Really fresh.
Yeah,
Don't ever throw away the Parmesan rind.
that's right.
Add that to your pasta sauce for flavor. Yeah,
Yep. Or a
Oopsie.
soup stock or anything.
that's all right. I know.
Save them in the freezer. Pop it in the freezer.
So I put the Parmesan cheese into the risotto, and now it's
Yep.
a little bit thick. So should I put a
Right.
little bit of like chicken stock in there?
Yep, I'm gonna add a little bit more too.
Okay. Like how much? Like half a cup or so?
Yeah, it's really now at this point, you know, it's cooked, it's ready to go. You know, it's typically served kind of soupy, a little on, just slightly on the soupy side.
Like
And
we
they
have,
say risotto waits for no one. So like in Italy, they say sit down at the table and then they serve it because they're not waiting around. But we're gonna finish our salad. Which is just really quick. We're just going to you can cover your risotto and turn it off, and it'll stay hot because you have a nice heavy pan, so you should be okay there.
oh my gosh,
It's
the
so good.
risotto is so good. Oh.
Yeah, I mean, and it's not hard, is it? No.
No, that wasn't hard. Okay, where are we at?
No.
Andy? This.
Slicing radishes.
I
and
sliced
this is
the
just,
radishes.
yeah, just for color,
This
it's just
one's in my
nice.
bowl.
Okay.
That's your bowl.
Okay.
A little bit extra. I do not want radishes though.
Will you
So
try that?
again, you can cut a little square, but you just want nice thin pieces.
Oh, yeah,
I mean,
love
cut a
radish.
little flat side for your knife so it stays stable.
Yeah.
And then just really thin slices.
Yeah. Remember, Mom loved radishes.
I love radishes. I love radishes. Yeah.
You want them on yours?
And you might not need all of the dressing. So rule of thumb is I put a little dressing on and toss and toss and toss and toss. And that, I mean, I'm not going to need all this for sure. I'm quite
Oh, no.
certain. So I'm just going to put a little bit on, just like a.
It doesn't go in the salad, I know.
Wait, what about wait, does it go, the lemon zest? What were we supposed to do with the lemon zest?
The zest goes in the risotto.
Oh, it goes in the risotto.
Mhm.
Should we put it in there right now?
Yep. And the juice of that lemon. Did you get the juice?
And the juice of the lemon. Where's the, 1 tablespoon.
I used it all.
You used all the lemon?
Yeah.
You did?
In salad dressing.
But then there was a container of it. Oh, here, no, I got some over here. Nope,
He's got another lemon there. Yeah.
So should I use like okay, like it was like half of the, okay, here we go.
I used all of my lemon, 1 lemon. I used all the zest
Whole lemon
and
zest, okay.
yeah.
Do we have salad tongs?
And the nice thing about this kale is that you can dress it a little bit ahead of time. You don't have to wait, or you don't have to rush, it doesn't really wilt it. It just makes it a little better. So I just think the best thing to do is toss. Like I put like a teaspoon in, and this is a tiny amount. I haven't finished this, but and then just taste it and make sure it tastes good. And if it doesn't, add a little pinch of salt and some pepper. Oh, it's really good. And you can add some more Parmesan cheese.
Okay, so just so I'm doing this right, the risotto, take the lemon zest and a tablespoon of the lemon juice, right?
You can use all the lemon juice if you want.
Okay.
Honestly.
Okay.
Start with the tablespoon, but if you want more, add more. I'm not a huge, recipes are a guide, so you have to make them your own, I think is really important, but now you know the techniques, so you can do that.
Very much the opposite.
And needs like
Follows a
measure.
recipe.
I do like a recipe. Unless
Yeah,
it's
it's a
something
good guide.
Unless it's something I've made so many times, I can eyeball it, but generally I'm a recipe follower.
But like I always say, it's just dinner, like if you have a general idea of what a quarter cup is, just scoop in a quarter cup. And if it doesn't seem right, then add a little bit more, but kind of have to taste as you go along and season as you go. And then you'll always have good luck.
Right.
I think. Oh, and then, so then more of a garnish kind of thing, but I was just trying when I made it, because I did create this recipe, from the restaurant that we were at in Ireland, but pea shoots are hard to find. So I'm just going to pop on some pretty microgreens. I just have like some kale microgreens.
Whole Foods has those a lot. Those I know they add a lot. They're pretty.
They're beautiful. Yeah. And they kind of look like a pea shoot. Pea shoots had those little twiny things, and they're so pretty. So pretty. But and these are really great in a stir fry or anything.
They're good
like
on a
that.
sandwich. They're good.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely. Add a little crunch, and they're so I grow these. I've grown microgreens, and they pop up in like 2 days, and you can start harvesting them in like a week.
Oh my
They're
gosh.
easiest thing ever. They're really fun.
Yeah.
You have to get a big bag of them though, of the seeds.
Yeah.
And I'm munching on the
chickpeas.
The chickpeas are just too good. And then if you have peas, you can add the peas in, and you don't have to cook the peas, even if they're frozen.
Wait, do the peas
No, peas go in. If you got peas, they go in the risotto. So about a half a cup of peas, or a cup.
I like peas.
And they'll cook. They don't even need to cook.
Try it without the peas.
They'll heat up.
Okay, this salad dressing, we have extra, we can use, we can just put this in a container, right?
Totally, yeah, absolutely, yeah. Yeah, you won't ever, I mean, it makes a lot.
We need the chickpeas. All right, you have to have some chickpeas.